Hey guys, on today's episode of Core Women TV, we have Christie and Ketsia and me, Karlie, and we're going to Chick-fil-A right now, and we're gonna go get some food, and then we're gonna go to FIU and have a nice little chat about being a high school and a college girl. Come join us.
I don't know what's the issue. I don't know why.
Atlantic, and what about it?
This is my alma mater now, you know, since like 2 weeks of graduating. Exactly on this day. A fun fact about FIU, well, this is the Biscayne campus, there's 2 campuses, well 3 because there's an engineering also, is that at the main campus, each of the buildings is named after, like, it's a different language. So the very first building that was ever built is called Primera Casa, which is first house. And then you have another one that's called Deuxième Maison, obviously second house, and then another one in German, I'm not going to say it, it's third house, and then in Nigerian, it's another one called cool. Sixth house. So that's a cool international thing about FIU.
Deuxième Maison. Yeah, I'm all up in that building. Let me start looking for colonizers.
Hey guys, my name is Ketsia. I just graduated from high school.
My name is Christie. I just graduated from college.
And my name is Karlie, and I just graduated from high school as well.
Alright, so what is one thing that high school or college taught you for life in general?
I think for me, it was that everybody has like their own journey in life. I think because I had an unconventional journey to college, because I did 2 years at BC, that was a little bit rough during those 2 years, and then I transferred over to FIU, and then when I thought I was about to graduate, it was like, oh no, you still have a couple more semesters, and I was like crying, and I was like, Lord, what is happening? And he actually gave me a verse in Psalms 32 verse 8, and just if I could just read it for you guys, because that's the thing that really helped me not go crazy when I saw all my friends who I went to high school with already like graduating, and I'm still sitting up here going to classes. So starting at verse 8, it says, "The Lord says, I will guide you along the best path of your life, and I will advise you and watch over you." Amen. So to know that during this season where I thought I was gonna graduate, that the Lord was guiding me, He was, like it says, watching over me, advising me. So it really helped me through to come to the very point where I actually graduated like 2 weeks ago. So that's something that really like helped me get through, and it helped me understand, like, you go to college and you think, because you watch TV shows and movies and everything's like, oh, 4 years and you're done, and then now all of a sudden now I'm on year 5, and you're like, wait, this is not like, is it not normal? Like, why is it happening to me? So it was a good thing that like to have this verse to the tail end of my journey in college.
And I guess for me, something that it taught me in general was that your end product is solely based on how much work you're willing to put in for it. Like,
That's good.
there was a lot of times that I would be talking to my friends and we'd be together and we just like some workload that we have to do or like other things, because a little like intro into my life, like during high school I was heavily involved, so I did a lot. I was the treasurer of my senior class, so like I was over the entire senior class for the entire year, and I was in like 3 different clubs, and I was officers of those clubs too, and I was in the band, and I just did a lot. And so I prioritized the things that I thought was important, obviously aside from schoolwork and stuff like that. But there were moments where I was like, I don't need to do this, or I don't want to do this. But then like it came back to me, and I remember the Lord reminding me, like, you're only gonna get out what you put in. So like at the end of the day, when yes, you could decide not to do this work or decide not to attend these meetings or do whatever you have to do, but like it's all gonna fall on you, because nobody else is gonna carry that load for you. Like, you need to know, okay, if I want product Z, I need to do X and Y to get there. So that was one thing. And I guess another thing that it told me in general was that it refined me in a good way with like life skills, because there were many times where I mean, I know it's a human thing, but there was many times during my time on the board of senior class that some of the officers that were working alongside me either wouldn't carry their weight or weren't present at some times. But because of my character as a Christian, I knew there were some times that there were going to be moments that I was going to have to work harder than my partner or harder than my officer, because things need to get done. And if you decide to do what they're doing, then nothing's going to get done. And at the end of the day, it falls on me, because when I picked this position, I said I'm going to be a representative on behalf of the senior class. So no matter how hard it gets, like, I have to keep things straight, you know, if nobody else is working for it. So
That's really good. Wow, this sounds really good.
But for me, one thing that high school taught me was, as cliche as it sounds, is to be yourself.
Yeah.
Because I remember transitioning from middle school to high school, the big gap for me was trying to like learn how to fit in, and always trying to find my identity. And that was really way before I got and really gave my life to Christ. Entering high school, I knew that I would need to walk with him, and he would let me fit in where I need to fit in.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have to stress myself out, be someone I wasn't, hang out with people that I know I have no business hanging out with in order to pop out and show out. And you know, God really showed himself through me and allowing me to be myself, and everyone knows like, hey, Ketsia's a church girl, go to some church, go to school, like, and I was okay with that title, because that's what brought a lot of people to me. Hey, can you pray for me? Hey, what advice do you have on that? So learning in high school how to be myself really helped me represent Christ. That was it for me.
And like, even like to add on to what you said, another thing that it taught me was my limits, even like to being myself.
I just learned that like 2 weeks ago.
It'd be like that, and like I'm still learning, so it's like I'm not all there. That's one thing, I'm not all the way there. It's just a learning experience, and I believe that the experiences you go through will prepare you and will make you get to the point where you're just like, okay, like I think I can navigate this, I think I can do this. But a thing in high school that was huge for me was like I knew my limits. Like going into college, I'm not doing what I did in high school. Like I'm not gonna be on this board and be officer this and that. Like at a certain point, a lot of kids were playing chord collection. Like they was like, okay, let me join this club so I can get this chord, and join that club so I can get that chord. Like no, because I had so much on my plate at one time, and oh boy, it crumbled. But you know, like with God, I was able to, you know, rebuild it up. But like that's one thing I know going forward, don't take on more than you can handle. Do what you can and put your all into the few things that you love. I'd rather you do that than you go and put 10% of you everywhere, and then it just falls apart, and it's like it's just fake. It's not authentic.
Wow.
So I think to jump into the next one, we can. One thing I want to ask you guys is that what did you wish you knew before going into high school that you realized after?
That's just high school. For me,
What did I learn?
So, to taking work seriously, like you said, I leave everything for last minute. I was a huge procrastinator, and in God's work, He doesn't procrastinate.
Come on.
So, me being who I am and thinking that I'm Superwoman and I can do 3 essays that are 5 pages in 2 days time span, that ended up stressing me out. And I went through a time in high school, especially through senior year, where I was super depressed. I had anxiety levels up to God knows what. And just having to remember, like, when you came into your freshman year of high school, remember what everyone told you, right? Remember everyone told you, don't leave things for the last minute. Don't do this. Like, things, I'm talking about grades that could have cost you graduation, that could have cost me everything, and that could have even made my life into more shambles, but yet God was so gracious to me, and He helped me pick up everything all at once. So that was one thing I wish I knew, not to procrastinate.
I think for me, it would have to be that, like, failing classes is a common thing. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but it's a common thing.
That part.
I remember my first semester at, like, my community college, I looked at my grades, that thing said D. I said, and I, like, if I could turn pale, like, white, I could have, because I was so stressed. I was like, oh my gosh, I just failed the class, like, what's gonna happen? So I had an older cousin next to me, she was like, hey, like, it's okay, like, you just have to take the class over again. And so that's when I was like, oh, so this is a thing that, like, it's not a good thing again, like, I'm just trying to stress out, but it's a common thing, so it's not like I don't want to, if it happens to you, don't label yourself as, like, a failure of sorts, because it's like, you just have to, this is an opportunity for you to rebuild, and like God does, like, He redeems us, so you can use this opportunity, because I think the class I got a D in, took it in the summer, I got an A in that, so, like, that can happen. Like, you just have to make sure you change your mindset when you go into that same class that you're about to take. So that's one thing I definitely, like, someone should have told me.
Something somebody should have told me was how hard junior year was going to be.
Oh yeah.
If I had moved then what I know now, I think I would approach that from a completely different angle, because junior year, like what Ketsia said about her senior year, that's how I was junior year. There was just a point in time in the year where I was, like, super depressed. It was just a really bad time for me. I was failing classes, and the way I mentioned earlier how, like, I had so much things on my plate, and, like, that was the time that I crumbled, because I even have it on something that I was going to touch upon was that I'm going to fail sometimes. Like, and I was going to fail in a specific class that was important to me. So I had failed that class, and then all the clubs that I was in, they were weighing in on me heavy, and then I couldn't handle it, and so I just crumbled. I crumbled under pressure, and it was tough. It was a bad time, but, you know, God is faithful, and Christie had, like, a major part in my success in general in my life, because Christie is a person that would always keep in contact, and it was just a thing that we did with each other. So don't ever think that, like, oh, like, because somebody's older than you or somebody's younger than you, that you can't have that accountability. Like, that's something that's so important. If you have accountability, somebody that's either been through it or it's going through it, like, you can talk to, you know. And they always say, oh, make sure you're talking to somebody, but, like, for real, make sure you're talking to somebody, because in that moment, like, I was not thinking great things. Like, it was just, I didn't see the end for me. There was no light at the end of the tunnel. I was just ready to give up in every way, shape, and form. And I had somebody told me in that moment, like, it's okay, it's gonna be okay. Like, you're failing this class, you're gonna end up passing it later. Like, it's okay. But, like, you know, when you're in the heat of the moment in this junior year, you gotta graduate in, like, less than a year, and you're realizing that here are the credits, and here's what you're missing, here's what you got, and it's not balancing. So it's like you're running around like a headless chicken. But to know that, you know, it's gonna be okay. You're gonna fail, but you're gonna end up being exactly where you need to be, if not better than you were before. Come on, come on. Yeah, it's gonna happen. You're gonna be okay.
So, what is one thing you guys learned about yourself, like, through high school, also high school through college, that's, like, still stands today, like, right now?
Wow. For me, one thing I know is that God created a soldier. God created a fighter. Because the situations that I faced with, a lot of people would have turned to drugs. A lot of people would have turned to sex and other things, right? But God turned me to His Word. And Proverbs 3 verses 5 to 6 is, it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In
yeah.
all your ways submit to him and he will make your path straight. And every time I was and one thing is, as you had Christie as your accountability partner, and Christie had you. I had a dear old sister from our church, and I would pray with her every single day. And those prayers, I kid you not, kept me. Because I felt like there was a point in my life where I was spiraling down the drain. And God taught me, like, yo, I'm not putting you through these situations because you're weak. I'm not putting you through these situations to make you look like a failure, to embarrass you. I'm turning your trials and tribulations into a testimony. And when I came to realize that, which was late into my late in the game, you know, but it's never too late for God showed me His glory. He showed me His power, and how there's things that I'm going into college and I'm like, oh, I'm ready. Because if I were not to go through them in high school, going into college and I'm faced with it times 2, I'm like, but he's faithful and just, and the girl's a soldier.
I think for me, it'd be that my character is what stood out the most over anything else. Like, and I will run with that to this day. It's not about the club that I was in. It's not about my test scores. It's not about what college I got into. It's not about the performance that I did in high school. No, people remember me because of my integrity and the character that I showed when I was there for the 40 years. I don't know, just having God on your side, you know you're different. You know you're not the same as everybody else. So people are relying on these like external factors. They're like, okay, well, I'm in like 80 different clubs, so like I'm good for something. Or I'm top 2% in my class, I'm top 1% in my class. So like that's what they're gonna remember me for. No, like they're gonna remember you as that girl that walked down the hall, make sure every other kid was straight. That girl that held the senior class on her back when she didn't have to. That girl that made sure all the teachers were being treated with respect, just like the janitors, just like the administration and everybody that walked along the campus. Like I walk around with a smile and joy on my face, not because I'm good, no, because of God's grace, literally. And like people ask me like, why are you always so hype all the time? I mean, partly like I got ADHD, but like that's not it. But it's also because of my personality. Like God is so good, and life is too short to be sad. Like like it comes in roles, it comes in waves that sometimes things are gonna bring you down. So don't always expect to be happy, but like when you can, show that joy. Like I know I'm living, I'm breathing. I have an opportunity that a lot of people don't have. So I'm gonna show that, I'm gonna display that, and I'm gonna give that my all, whatever it is. And like don't focus on those external factors that I mentioned. Like at the end of the day, high or low, best in your class, worst in your class. Like if you know who you are as a person, that's all you need to carry.
I think my point is actually a merge of both of you guys, where I was like, I'm definitely stronger than I think, and to have confidence in my work. Because especially during my last semester, I used to have like this big project where we had to like present like as a job interview, and I was sitting up there, I was like practicing how was it gonna go. I was like, oh gosh, it's gonna be, and I was looking at everybody else's work, and I was like, oh wait, maybe they did better than me and all this other stuff. And then when I got up there and I spoke, and I thought I flubbed, like I thought I just trashed it, and then he gave us like, he graded it and he gave me a comment, and I got like it was a 19 out of 20. And then his comments were like, yeah, just you were clear, you were confident, and I was like, wow, like I was like, oh, so I was just like psyching myself out in my head, like even when it comes down to like the papers, because the major I was in, there was a lot of writing and a lot of big like 10-page paper, 15-page papers, and sometimes I'd be like, oh, this isn't, I don't feel like this is gonna be good enough, and then I get the grades back and it's like either 1 point off of 100 or like the 100 altogether. So it's like having confidence in yourself and in your work that like God is with you. And that's something I also just pull up. Something that I always did is like I always pray before I click that submit button for every assignment, every quiz. I was like, God, you go before me. And then
me during every standardized test. I was like, God, you got this SAT, not me. Whatever
the answers, change the answers.
Change the answers in the machine. Change it.
Like God,
if I put C and it's D, put D, God. Put D, put D, God. In Jesus' name.
And then they're like, they see me manifesting over my test, and they're like, ma'am, don't worry about it.
I'm manifesting the Wendy's.
I wanted to ask you guys, what advice would you give a young girl entering high school or college?
Some advice that I would give to anybody entering high school is you gotta find a core group core. You gotta find a core group of friends to carry you through. And, you know, pray to God about that. Like, don't just go, hey, yo, like, don't find the person on the street that, you know, that's waiting that she had the same class as you. No, like, really connect. Pray about the friends you're gonna make entering high school, and that God would prepare 1, 2, 3 people to really stick by your side. Like, a lot of people, excuse me, they hear this saying of, oh, the people you walk in high school with are not going to be the same people that you walk out of high school with. But by God's grace, I walked in to go to school with my group of friends, and I walked out of high school, and I walked through high school with them, and they're still here to this day. Shout out to them. And, you know, just find, like, a good amount of people that you can trust, you know, a good amount of people that, you know, through the hard times, like, that's willing to take one for you, you know, like, if you're not feeling good, like, they're actually gonna check, like, don't make those situationship friends, like, oh, we graduate high school, like, that's it, ain't no more. Like, those are gonna come, yes, because it's high school, and the reason why you're friends is because you're in the same setting for 4 years. Facts. But, like, there's just gotta be that group that, you know, like, through it all, like, they know the ins and outs of you too, and you know the ins and outs of them, and that they can help you, and they can, you know, you can lend an ear to when they have problems, but also, like, you have a shoulder to cry on when things are tough, because it ain't gonna be easy. It's high school, it's school in general. No academics is easy in any way, shape, or form. And also to stay focused on why you're there. Like, I think you could lose sight between doing everything that high school has. Yeah, I'm not saying don't enjoy yourself, but definitely don't lose sight of there's an end goal here. Like, okay, I'm here for 4 years, I gotta graduate. At the end of this 4 years, I gotta walk across that stage, make me happy, make my parents happy, whoever it is. Like, there's a reason why you're through this, you're working through this. It's not just for you to have fun. It's not, okay, let me just fool around for 3 years and get everything together on the 4th year. Like, that's not it, you know? And last but not least, get involved. Don't be a homebody. Don't be like, school ends at 2:40, so I end at 2:40. Like, please find one thing. And like I said before, don't be those people that, like, try to separate themselves in, like, 80 different things. If you can find, like, 1 or 2 things that you could really invest yourself in, know, like, okay, I have this one organization, like, I love so much, so I'm gonna give it my all. And I'm telling you, you're gonna reap the benefits of that later, because the accolades they give you, and it's not because you were asking for it, but it's because you put yourself into that. Like, for me, it was band. I did band 3 years, and then my 4th year, I decided to do something a little bit different, and so I did senior class, and I enjoyed that so much because I literally, like, blood, sweat, and tears went into that. So it wasn't even about the reward at the end. It's because I knew we worked hard to put what we put together, and I was proud of that. Do something that'll make you proud, and that'll make the rest of the people in your class and the people around you proud. So,
that's good. Mine would have to be for the kids going into college. Listening. Like, when things are getting, like, overwhelming, like, take a break. Like, walk away for a minute, because it makes no sense to just stress out in here. Because I remember there was another semester where I was taking chemistry and bio together. But there were moments where it was extremely overwhelming, and what I did was, like, I was like, all right, I'm just gonna walk away from it for maybe 15 minutes. Maybe I'll listen to some like worship music, or watch something funny to get my mind off of it. Because if you are just overwhelmed while you're not gonna get anything accomplished. Like, it's like a dead end. Like, we're just gonna keep ramming into whatever you're not gonna get it. So take a break, walk away, breathe, step outside, look at, oh, trees, oh my God. Like, do something that, so your mind can, like, restart and refresh, because it's not going to be good for you to just, like, stay in that overwhelmed anxiety state. Like, you got to walk away from it. That's my biggest advice.
So my advice would be to pray about your friends. It was always, like, I guess throughout my years in school, it was always a struggle for me to make friends, because I was always trying to, like, figure out, like, oh, what type of friends should I have? But then when I actually entered high school, first, let me tell you the funny thing I told myself, I'm going to high school and I'm not going to have no friends, okay? I don't know why I told myself that, but joke's on me, because I have friends now. And God was like, it's like, but I prayed and I was like, high school's supposed to be fun. You know, you have to make memories with people, not yourself running down the hallways, and like it don't work like that. And I ended up praying, and He blessed me with a great best friend. And also He gave me friends who were who believed in God. Okay, so like when I'm talking about God, they're not like, oh, that man up in the sky. They're like, yes, go preach. Like they understand and who are praying for me too. I remember there was a point in my life where I was going through it, and my best friend was like, we need to pray, and I was like, that's what I need, because for a moment I was forgetting who I was, and she brought me back. So praying for good friends and friends who believe in God, and you know. That was a second thing is taking taking your academics seriously, because
say that again.
Taking your academics seriously, take it seriously, guys. And it's not like I was horrible in school or anything, but there was times where I was like, no, like I would like essay, and I would, like I said, when I realized like, oh, I really need to do this, that's when I started cramming it in for last minute. And like, oh, especially the school I attended, we didn't have like 8 classes like other regular schools, so I would have to take classes online, and here I am taking them last minute, and I'm sitting here crying when I knew I could have did it in the beginning when they told me to, my counselor told me to, and I had nobody else to blame but myself. But yet again, Jesus is faithful and just. So and that getting involved, okay? So I was in chorus magnet, I was in hip, I love hip so much, and it helps teach kids about mental illnesses, about obesity, all those stuff, in like different ways and sources to get help. That's good for a lot of girls who want to join. If you have that in your school, check it out. Gives community service hours, and if you want get involved, of course, and get cool with the people in the school.
Come on, I was just about to say
Did y'all hear how that rhyme? Get cool with the people in the school. Okay, so that's really important, because there were certain situations I went through. Like if teachers couldn't give me a recommendation, I knew the librarian was going to give me a recommendation. And you know, God put those people in my place who really appreciated me, and I appreciate them so much because they did help me a lot. You know, security guards, you know who you are. If you ever get to watch this video. Open the gate. No, in all honesty, like these adults really, and they gave great advice. Like if I was coming against a situation where I was like, I don't know what to do with this class, and I went to this teacher, so they'd be like, I got you, let's go. And they would take me straight to the office, get me in the front line, and you know, God bless me with people along my path. When you're constantly praying, another thing, keep God first, because He made all of this happen for me. I'm talking about joining clubs, getting things done, meeting the people in the past, my friends, all of that. Because I was constantly praying. I wake up every morning, God, I need to be at your feet before I start my day, because I don't know what I'm gonna face. And whatever I face, I need you to be in front and center for me. So when I'm fighting, I'm not fighting by myself. And I came across a lot of battles in high school. Mental, physical, emotional, academic, everything. Everything you could think of, I was going through it.
Right.
And God, He don't take you out of it, He make you go through it, okay? So, just keeping Him first. Always pray, guys. Don't leave your house without praying, because that's a shield of protection He put over you. Especially nowadays with stuff going on, you need that shield of protection. God's traveling mercies.
I just wanted to like sprinkle in a few little more. I thought I was done completely. But just to piggyback off what she said, Ketsia said to be cool with the people in the school. Definitely pass the curriculum, that's it. But there's some teachers they actually care about your success and where you're gonna go in the future. And everybody deserves to eat too. Like if there's a time, if you're moving up in the grade level ladder, you should be able to, you know, there's freshmen that need help too. Like he was there too. I feel like that's something that happened in my school a lot. The older kids, like the seniors, the juniors, any upperclassmen, they would start to like bash on the freshmen and the sophomore, and I'm like, no, you were there too. Like everybody deserves to have the help because you needed it too when you were there. So if you could, you know, take a freshman, take a sophomore, take a junior under your wing to help them out as you are going through, like at least some of the mistakes that you fell into, at least they'll be able to walk through instead of falling into. Like this is what we're here for. Like even in the great community, like we're here to help one another. Like we're not here to take all this information and keep it inside. No, we have to share it. Like if I know something that you don't, what is it to me to not tell you? Like why? What is the reason? Why was I being? Because you was being somebody else. Like don't be who you're not, be who you are, be true to yourself, and stay with God. And that's what they're gonna remember in the final. In the end. So,
That's good.
some good stuff.
Good nuggets. Oh,
Some good nuggets.
I'm gonna be taking my bag with Christie told me. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed your meal. Clearly, I forgot about mine. But I hope you got something out of this video from any section that applies to you, and that you learned something.
This is Core Women TV.
Let's build our core
Together!